This is the Sakar Murli of the 5th of August 2023. Essence. Sweet children, you are now standing at a T-junction. On one side is the land of sorrow. On the second side is the land of peace. And on the third side, the land of happiness. Now judge, that is, decide where you want to go. Question. On the basis of which faith can you children remain constantly cheerful? Answer. The first faith you need is to have who it is that you now belong to. After belonging to the Father, you have no need to read the Vedas, scriptures or religious books. The other faith you need is that your clan is the most elevated deity clan. With this awareness you can remember the whole cycle. Those who maintain the awareness of the Father and the cycle will remain constantly cheerful. Song. Someone made me belong to him and taught me how to smile. Om Shanti. You children first of all have the happiness of who it is that you now belong to. It would not be said that you now belong to a guru. You have to belong to the Father. Even after you leave your body, you will then belong to another Father. Here too you have to belong to the Father. There is no need for any Vedas or scriptures. As soon as a child is born, his father understands that the child is a master of his property. It is a matter of relationship. You children also know that in fact you are first of all the children of the Father from beyond, Shiv Baba. First we are souls and then we receive bodies. Each of you has a body and you have now found the unlimited Father. He has come and given you his introduction. You say, Baba, I belong to you and there are no other relationships. You have become the children of the Father. This one says, I am not a guru, etc. On the board, the name Brahma Kumaris and Kumaris is written, and so there would surely also be the Father. You write that you are Brahma Kumaris and Kumaris. This is a relationship. There has to be the relationship with the Mother and Father. It is sung, you are the Mother and Father, and we are your children. It is as though the soul remembers this eternally. When we become your children, we will claim our inheritance. You know that you now belong to the Mother and Father. You are the children of Shiv Baba. So you definitely remember the Father and the inheritance. You are not taught from any religious books, etc. You are just made to have faith. You now belong to the Father. Therefore, remember him. The Father says, by remembering me, you will become like them, that is Lakshmi and Narayan. This is so easy. You should have broad and unlimited intellects. He doesn't explain anything else to you. He just tells you about your clans and how you go around the cycle of 84 births. He liberates you from studying the Vedas and scriptures, etc. You have to continue to remember the Father. It is in your intellects how the world cycle turns. By knowing its beginning, middle and end, you become the highest on high. You become the masters of heaven. I make you cheerful for all time. This is so easy, but you still forget. What's the reason for this? Children never forget their parents. Remember the father and the inheritance, and you will remain constantly cheerful. When there is sorrow, people remember the father. The father definitely gave you happiness. When someone experiences sorrow, they say, "Oh Baba, oh God." You have been crying out in distress every birth. Everything is now explained to you children very easily. Even though you may not be healthy, even though you may be very ill, you can still do service. When someone is ill, people tell him to chant the name of Rama. Here too, even when you are ill, you can tell others, remember Shiv Baba. You definitely have to remind others of this. You can give this knowledge to others even if you are dying. You are the children of the Supreme Soul. Remember him. Shiv Baba is the unlimited Father, and he alone will give you the inheritance. When you have an interest in doing service, you will give knowledge to others even when you are dying. It shouldn't be that you lie in hospital and stop speaking. Let something or other continue to emerge from your mouth. Your stage should be very good. Even when you are ill, you can do a lot of service. When your friends and relatives come to visit you, tell them, remember the Supreme Soul. He alone is the protector of all. Therefore remember Shiv Baba. He is the only one. Everyone receives the inheritance from just the one. In worldly relationships, the males receive an inheritance. A Kumari is considered to be more elevated than 100 Brahmins. Donations are made to those who are pure. You Kumaris are the purest of all. This is why it is said, I am donating my daughter. That is considered to be a great donation. In fact, that is not a donation. You are now making a donation. You say, I am giving my daughter to Shiv Baba, for her to be made into an empress of heaven. However, a Kumari should also be well educated. She should be someone from our deity clan, who can quickly understand everything as soon as it is explained to her. She has to be serviceable. Baba is not going to look after little children. It is very easy to explain to anyone. Shiv Baba is your unlimited Father. The pictures are in front of you. Look, you are claiming the inheritance of this golden age. From where did Lakshmi and Narayan receive their inheritance? This is so easy, and this is why Baba is having large pictures made. This play is now coming to an end. We have been playing our parts for 84 births. We are now going back to Baba, and we will then go into the new world. Our Baba is the creator of the new world. He is making us into masters of that world. We are showing you the way you can receive the inheritance of constant happiness from the unlimited Father. Firstly, explain, I am a soul. I, a soul, am eating. I, a soul, am walking. You have to practice this very well. Body consciousness has to be broken. Those who are body conscious remember their physical relatives. Those who are soul conscious only remember their Father from beyond. While sitting, walking, moving around, let it be in your intellects, I am a soul. You have to follow the Father's directions. Shiv Baba is giving you directions. Consider yourselves to be souls. You have to make effort. You will become members of heaven. However, you mustn't become happy with just a little. Although you will go to heaven, you have to become real children. Those who only remember Bap Dada are said to be real children. If anyone else is remembered, you are then stepchildren. There are many who continue to remember both. That one is the Father who gives you the imperishable inheritance of heaven. There is this clan and there is also that clan. You receive sorrow from that clan, but you receive an inheritance of temporary happiness. You can now judge with your intellect, in which direction am I going? Where should I go? Towards the worldly Lokik, or beyond the world to the Paralokik? The intellect says, after belonging to the Father from beyond, should I not go to heaven? You have to die alive to your worldly relatives. By belonging to the Father from beyond, you will become the masters of heaven. Here you become the masters of hell. The soul says, where should I connect my intellect? Should I go to our lands of peace and happiness, or should I go here? In fact, there should not even be any thought of going here, to the land of sorrow. You have been staying here for birth after birth. We will now never let go of the Paralokik Father. You children are personally sitting here in front of the Father. You have no worldly relatives. Your intellects say we will go to Baba in the land of liberation and peace. Wake up in the early morning hours and sit and churn in this way. You will enjoy yourselves a great deal by sitting at that time. In which direction should I now go? Why should I go to hell? Maya deceives you a great deal in this. You now have an aim and objective. You are now standing on the shore. You know there is nothing but sorrow on this side. On that side there is happiness for 21 births. The Father says, remember me, because you have to come to me. Maya says, you have to go to the world. Where should I go? You have found the path. On the one side there is the path to heaven, and on the other side there is the path to hell. There is this T-junction. A T-junction is where 3 roads meet. In which direction should we now go? One road is to liberation, the second is to liberation in life, and the third is to hell. This is like a confluence of 3 rivers. There are junctions of 3 roads, and we are standing at one of those junctions. The example of a T-junction is good. Where should we now go? Hell is to be destroyed. There is a lot of sorrow here. We are now standing at the T-junction. We are not going to move backwards. Baba has removed us from the road of sorrow and brought us to this T-junction. Having passed along the road of sorrow for birth after birth, you have come here. Your intellects now say we should go to liberation and liberation in life. We are not going to sit in the land of liberation for all time. It isn't that we become free from playing our parts and do not come down again. It is not possible for you to become free from playing your parts. According to the drama, you will definitely come down and then return like a swarm of mosquitoes. Those who have seen so much sorrow should also be able to see just as much happiness. Baba has put an equal balance in the drama. There are even those who have small parts and have only come here for 1 or 2 births and then go back. You are now standing at this T-junction. That is the land of peace, and the other is the land of happiness. If you wish to go to the land of peace, then continue to remember the land of peace. You have to remember liberation. Those who come down later remember the land of liberation more because they have stayed in the land of liberation for a longer period of time. You would remember the land of liberation in life. Let us go to heaven quickly. Those people desire to stay in liberation. Acha. Just continue to remember the Father. There is benefit in that too. If someone wants to stay in the land of nirvana and doesn't want to go to the land of happiness, you can then understand that that one's part of heaven is not visible. You are standing at the junction of the road leading to the land of happiness. You are making effort. People will like your true yoga. Acha. Continue to remember the Father. There is no need to remember the cycle. This knowledge is for those of all religions. You understand that however much everyone claimed according to the drama, they will come and claim their status again. If you want to go to the land of liberation, remember the Father. If you want to remain constantly happy, there is peace and happiness there. Wherever someone belongs, he has to claim that inheritance. The Father is the bestower of liberation and liberation in life for all. If someone is only going to take 1 or 2 births, he will experience both happiness and sorrow in that, just as a mosquito comes and goes. That is not called an invaluable life. You are those who remain constantly cheerful. You are lighthouses standing here. You can show both paths. You can go to the land of liberation, or you can remember both, the land of liberation and the land of liberation in life. There is no need to study the scriptures, etc. for this. This is very easy for the Kumaris because they haven't climbed that ladder. It is good to study in childhood because the intellect is good then. You don't have to remember anyone else at that time. All of you are Kumaris. You don't have to do anything else. Simply get busy studying, that's all. The boat will go across. Only the unlimited Father who makes us into the Masters of Heaven explains this to us. You have the pictures of what you have to become. The Father says through this study you will become deities. This play is now going to end. People are in extreme darkness. You are now in the light. The Father has come and awakened you from sleep. This awakening is of intellects, the souls. The Father comes and awakens you. Wake up and make effort for the land of happiness. Those who belong to your clan will continue to come, and there will continue to be expansion. You could calculate how many are becoming your subjects, but no, some listen a lot, whereas others leave after hearing just a little. You cannot calculate this. You have everything in your intellects as to who becomes a part of the big rosary, the small rosary, how wealthy and ordinary subjects are created, and who become those. Here you are told of all the things about who will become the main Sun Dynasty emperors and empresses, who will become part of the Moon Dynasty, how many subjects will be created, how the twigs, branches and leaves, etc. emerge from the middle of the whole tree onwards. That is the cycle of all religions. Leaves continue to emerge even now. The incorporeal world will then become completely empty and destruction will take place. Millions will die in the Great War. Countless people will die. So many will die here, but only a few will go and rule in the Golden Age. There are now so many people. There isn't even enough food for them all. You children know that Baba comes at the confluence age. The Father explains, children, you have to perform actions for your livelihood. Continue to ask for advice about everything. Each of your karmic accounts is your own. Continue to ask for Srimat from the Eternal Surgeon. He will give each of you your own individual medicine. It is explained that this world has already ended. Now remember the Father and your boat will go across. The Father has come to destroy hell and establish heaven. We are giving you advice. We are also giving you the Srimat that we have received from Sri Sri. The Father says, remember me and you will become the masters of heaven. Acha. To the sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the Mother, the Father, Bap-Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for Dharna. 1. Have an interest in doing service. Stay in remembrance of the Father even when you are ill. Remind others to stay in remembrance. Continue to donate knowledge with your mouth. 2. Become real children, that is, stay in remembrance of the One Father. Wake up early in the morning and churn the ocean of knowledge. Do not remember anyone else. Blessing. May you become a world benefactor and transform the world with your pure and powerful feelings. You children constantly have the pure feelings in your minds that everyone should benefit, that every soul should become happy for many births and become full of attainments. The fruit of these pure and powerful feelings of yours transforms souls of the world. As you progress further, even matter will be transformed because, according to the drama, you elevated confluence age souls have been blessed with receiving instant fruit. Therefore, any soul who comes into a relationship or contact with you will experience the fruit of peace and love at that moment. Slogan. Remain stable in the Trikaldashi stage when you make decisions, and you will have success in every action. Om Shanti.